fantasy football playoffs. Dude, I cannot fucking believe I got in. What kind of bullshit is that? Brandon got so fucked.
Dude, I was like that was the closest that I've seen any playoff ever be, you know.
I don't know how. Like, I had to score that many points to get in, and I did because he had 40 more points, like points for, than I did.
Wait, I
So
thought you had 40 more.
no, he had 40 more than me. So I had to score. I'd beat
You
you
had to
plus
win and
and
outscore him by 40.
yes. Like what
Oh.
that's why I'm
Suck it.
oh
I thought
man.
he had to I thought it was reversed.
Nope. I had to score another 40 points on top of beating you to get in. I was like, there's
That
no
is
way.
that's funny.
I got like Charbonnet and Addison both just clutch, bro. So clutch.
Dude, they were gas. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that was so clutch.
All right, everybody. Well, if you didn't catch that, welcome into episode 15. This is the real episode 15. I introduced last episode as 15 too, but High Country Hangouts 15. I'm Tad. Skyler's on the other line here, so happy December again. And we've just been chatting about some crazy playoffs in our fantasy football league because Skyler barely made it in, so congrats to him.
By 0.82 points. Yeah.
Yeah. It
hmm
was like a 3 or 4 way tie to get in, and he had the most points fielded by less than a point. It was insane.
And I had to score 40 more than the other. I had to win and score 40 more than some. It was crazy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
he
believe I got it.
outscored his opponent by 40 points this week just to catch the victory into the playoffs, man. Here it
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith into my teams going into the playoffs. I'm glad I'm in, but
Yeah.
the money ball, unless Saquon goes off, I don't have a lot of faith. But that's all right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Ashley's team is a little bit better than mine in the Moneyball, so I'm like, well, she got in, and I think that she has a better chance at winning, so I'm not too mad about it. But
Yeah. And you get a chance at making a little money between, you can split it or however you guys did it and go out to
yeah,
dinner or something with it. Yeah.
yeah, have a little fun with it for
So how
sure.
does it work with before we get to the plan of the week? How does it work with so there's what, four of us in there? No, there's six of us in Moneyball right now, four.
There were
So there's
6.
four. Okay.
So this year is a little different because they had bye weeks in week 14, which was kind of weird. Usually the way that I like to do it was do week 14, 15, and 16 were the playoffs, and we're in a 10-team league, so I was able to do 6 teams would make the playoffs. But this year it was kind of weird with week 14 buys because there was the playoffs happening, but players were also on bye. And so I'm debating about next year maybe changing it to only 4 teams making it and just doing a 2-week playoff
Nice.
run.
I hear
Because
that.
I don't like the buys, and then the other option would just be having a playoff or having the championship in week 17. But then there's also players who get benched because week 17 for some teams is not
So
important.
one reason I think you could make it work if it was, let's say we did week 15, 16, and 17. There's 18 weeks now, so there's 18 games, right?
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
and
Extra game.
there's an extra, or 17 games, I think. There's 17 games, 18 weeks. Um, from what I've noticed is most people won't sit. So that would take us into week 17, right?
hmm
With the playoffs, and then week 18 still
We could still not
it could
play.
still not play. Yeah,
Right.
because yep. So if like yeah, exactly. So you could still the way teams are playing now, you probably no one will bench their player 2 week or their players 2 weeks in advance. The week 18 they might, but
Yeah.
even then, like the Lions this year, the only team that's going to be able to probably do it are the Chiefs, unless the Lions have it wrapped up, which they play Minnesota the last week of the year, and if they don't win that game, Minnesota could take the lead for the division if they don't lose out. So I think you could make it work with
Okay.
buys, but whatever works. I don't. Yeah, whatever's clever. What I was going to ask
Yeah.
though is how do we decide the third person for Moneyball? Is it just points
In
for?
in terms of what?
So there's four. There's
Like
two
like third
third
place.
place. Yeah.
So basically, the winners of this week, because two teams had a bye, and then four teams played, so
Yep.
two teams won,
Yep.
and then it's gonna be next week. It's gonna be the top two teams versus the two teams who won,
Yep.
and whoever loses out of those two games plays for third place
Okay.
in week
Oh,
16.
okay. Perfect. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
All right. Sweet. I dig it.
yeah, should be
Awesome.
good.
Yeah. Well, we can move into plan of the week. Maybe we can touch on some football at the
Cool.
end.
Yeah, we'll loop back into some fantasy and maybe a little bit about the playoffs at the end of the
Bill
episode. But
Belichick is a college football coach now.
ooh, that's kind of exciting. It hasn't really happened where NFL coaches go back down to college. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, let's dive into the plant of the week here. I wanted to do a house plant that I was kind of familiar with and that people maybe thought looked cool and could be a cool addition to their already existing houseplants. So, we have chosen the pregnant onion, or
It's a fun name.
yeah, it's kind of fun, and it's symbolic of the plant itself because it has a little bit of the babies coming off it, and it has a very bulbous bottom, which kind of looks like a pregnant belly or something. So,
Hmm.
um, the scientific name is the Albuca bracteata.
Hmm.
I'm so bad at
It's a
saying
it's a
those,
crazy
but
name.
yeah. Also, a lot of people call it the false sea onion.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it does kind of look like an onion, also.
It does. Yeah. It looks tasty. I'd eat it.
Yeah, except it's kind of poisonous,
Poisonous.
so you
Right.
can't really eat it. Yeah. It's native to South Africa, and it's a popular house plant. In its native environment, like outdoors, it grows in zones 9A to 10B, and it grows from about 0 feet in elevation up to 1,000 feet. So it's pretty tropical. It's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
tropical plant. Um, I think the temperatures on it are looking about 50 degrees to 85 degrees outdoors. So anything too cold is going to make it either die or go into dormancy. So, um, something that's kind of interesting about it is that it creates these small babies. They're like small bulbs or pups on the base of the bottom of the large bulb. And then you can kind of take those babies off and plant those, and they'll become their own plant with the same genetics as the mom.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's almost like a cutting. Um, they have thick, tough leaves with a sap inside that I don't know. I was looking into it, and some people say that it has medicinal properties like reliefs for bug bites,
Hmm.
or it's also used in other countries to treat diabetes.
Oh,
So
that's interesting. I wonder what it does for diabetes.
yeah, in Africa, I looked into it, and you can. It's kind of like an extract, and it causes your body to. It's almost kind of like a insulin promoter.
Hmm.
Yeah. At least from what I looked into. I know for sure that it's used to combat diabetes in Africa. So that was interesting, I thought. But I've also read that the sap can be kind of mildly irritating to your skin. So I think it kind of depends on the person. Some people have been like, "Oh yeah, I've rubbed it on mosquito bites and I felt relief and it kind of stopped itching." And other people kind of were like, it just kind of gave me more itchiness and didn't help much. So I don't know. It's kind of like try it out yourself, and I also have one, so I might give it a try and see what it does to me. I'll report back. Um, just a quick thing about how to grow them. They grow best in well-draining soil with some bright light. You have to be a little bit careful with direct sunlight slash heat because they can get burned. The leaves can burn a little bit, but um, yeah, they're pretty easy to grow, and that's why they're a pretty common house plant. And The watering cycle is just kind of let the soil dry out. It has that big bulbous base,
Yeah,
so
I saw
it's
that.
kind of gonna, yeah, it's gonna be able to hold a lot of water inside of that. So if it dries out a little bit, that's probably pretty good for the plant, and then it can kind of reuptake water and store it inside that bulb. Um, if you let it dry out too much, it'll cause the plant to go into dormancy and it'll lose all its leaves and store the energy and nutrients in the bulbs. So if you did want to grow one and you wanted to, kind of keep it cooler in your garage or something, you could just, the 50 to 85 degrees is only for keeping it alive with the leaves. When it goes dormant, you can survive in a lot lower temperatures. So just something to keep in mind if you maybe don't have enough room or you kind of want to try and dormancy out in your garage or maybe even outside with a bunch of leaves.
Cool.
Um, they're mildly toxic to pets, so just kind of got to be careful. Well, mildly to poisonous. So yeah, if you have any cats that like to eat plants, it's probably not a great plant for you. Um, I think that's about all I got. They're discovered in the 1770s, which is kind of a long time ago. I was kind of interested by that, but
Huh.
that's the pregnant onion.
It's pretty cool. I dig the color.
Yeah,
Like the one you sent. I don't know if it's yours or what, but it's like a pretty
oh,
green and
I'm
ooh.
getting mine. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, guys, we'll get a picture up for you so you can check it out on the channel. Um, yep, there you go.
All right, this is mine. So you can kind of see it has like that big bulbous base.
Yeah.
And then these are like the little babies that are coming off it. So you can literally like pull one of these off and plant it and it'll grow a little pregnant onion
Can you
or a big
pop
one.
the bulb?
It's I've
It looks
cut
very
into one.
poppable.
Yeah, I've cut into one. No, it's like an onion. It's
Okay,
layered. It's
layered.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
kind of interesting.
that's cool. Looks like a balloon.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, they're cool. And that's why I wanted to show them off a little bit. So,
Yeah, that's dope. We'll make sure to have a picture up so you guys can see what it's about.
yeah.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I dig it. It's a good
Yeah,
plant.
thanks, man.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, how's your eyes? Yeah, I guess that'll lead into the photo. Photo of the week. We have a picture from my college days.
Yeah, this
Um,
picture's awesome, man.
I've, yeah, I went to college in Northwest College in Powell, and they have a great photo program. This photo is of a bronc rider at the Cody Rodeo grounds, and what's cool about Northwest College, the photo program, is you can get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, $1 million, like maybe I think it's $1 million as they have totals when I was there. Um, and so what I ended up doing is renting out a camera. I rented out this big lens that's probably $50,000 lens, and I took it to the rodeo grounds and took this photo. And was able to capture this really cool moment. The action, just everything about it is it's a really good image. It's probably one of the best images I've taken, and I've taken hundreds of thousands of photos. So this one won an award for the juried show at the school. So out of like all of the students, there were 20 of us maybe that had maybe not 20. There's 20 there, maybe not 20 in the show. There's maybe 10 to 15. Ended up winning one of the best images for photojournalism. Yeah, it was really cool. Good moment. Appreciate the photo. It was a good time.
Yeah, there's just a lot of emotion in that photo, man. You can just see him hanging on for fucking dear life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a bronc rider. Those guys have big cojones, man.
And it was just you
But
got it perfectly in focus. It was just
yeah,
like the crisp photo and people doing that kind of action shot, capturing that still moment of the action right in the moment. It's kind of hard to do, but
yeah, those
that's a cool
details.
one.
Kind of ways you do that is using a high shutter speed, 100 frame, like 200, 2,000 frames per second, things like that. So as high as you can uh, as high as you can get with your shutter speed.
Nice.
Not 2,000 frames per second, but on your shutter speed, getting up to 2,000. So
Damn.
I can't remember what
Yeah.
I shot it at, but
So then
yeah.
have you thought about possibly investing in a lens like that at some point, or
No, I have a 70 to 200 millimeter, which was
what makes it so expensive? Just the glass inside and the optics? Is there like a lower quality lens that can provide similar zoom and similar optics that's like lower
so
quality or
this
what?
one was a prime lens, so it didn't have any zoom. It just was
Oh,
one, like, I can't remember how many millimeters it was, maybe 200 or 500 millimeters. Um, the prime lenses like that, and the glass, and then the aperture, whatever you can get the aperture. So like, if you can get a 2.8 or a 1.8 lens, that's the aperture. The lower the number,
like
the
how big the hole is that lets light in,
the lower the
right?
number, the wider the. Oh yeah, exactly. Let's light it. Yep. And so yeah, the whatever, if you can get it 1.8, 1.2, those lenses are gonna be way more expensive than something that's like a 5.6 prime lens or a 5.6
Mm.
um, zoom lens. It just
Yeah,
varies
because
on the.
basically what that does is it allows more light in so that you can crank that speed up. Because
Yep.
if you have like a low aperture and you crank the speed up, all your photos are gonna be way too dark. And with more light, you can capture
Yeah.
in the moment shots like that.
It's confusing because the lower the number, the wider it is. The higher the number, the
The
more
smaller it
small and the
is.
darker the photo is. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It took a while to kind of understand that in college, and so for people that don't understand it, just takes practice and all
Yeah.
that. Another
And
thing,
so now you have like a kind of like an in between that goes from like 2 to 500 that
so I have a 70 to 200 that's a 2.8 lens, and that was, I don't know, $2,300. It was a couple grand for sure.
I remember you buying that. That was a big purchase.
Big purchase. Yeah, I mean, all of my equipment, I have so much. I have a lot of money's worth of equipment in this house for sure. Yeah, I don't want to say how much I have, but it's a lot.
No need to advertise. Yeah.
Yep. Another thing I like about the photo is you can tell the intention behind the guy, of the other bronc riders, or just they're watching him, and they're all kind of in a line, and it creates a good frame for him and what he's doing. They're clearly like invested in the riding, and you can see all the dirt pop up. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know stuff like that. Everybody's watching. You look at photos nowadays at just people in general, and everybody's kind of looking down at their phone or look. They're distracted a lot of the time, and I don't know. Seeing everybody in the moment like that, focus on the same thing, it's a cool thing. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, it was a good time, man. College at Northwest was pretty fun. It good memories, and yeah, yeah, great image for sure.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Word. Well, I mean, we can move on. I think. What are we on to? Maybe some football talk, fantasy. Anything you want to touch on other than that?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. We can let's loop back around to a little bit of fantasy slash football stuff. Um, Man, it was Joe Burrow went off. I predicted him to have more than 1.5 touchdowns, and he threw way more than that. And you predicted Saquon to get in, and somehow he didn't make it in
No,
after all that. So
that's all right. He hopefully will get in this week. So
yeah, it's just fun to loop back around and think about kind of how the game went, because the Eagles are just playing weird, dude.
well, I think the Carolina game was a trap game. I think it was a game that they could have easily lost, and they
True.
probably should have. Bryce Young actually
It
had a touchdown at the end, and the
I
receiver
was gonna
dropped it.
say it came down to like one pass, dude.
Yeah. Um, but that being said, I'll take Saquon Barkley 2 touchdowns this week against Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's because their pass defense is fire.
Yeah. Well, also, I feel like, so when you get a player like Saquon, sometimes when you play a bad team, not him necessarily, he didn't have a bad game, But like teams play down to their opponents sometimes. I feel like the Eagles played down to the Panthers
Mm,
with the
that's
Steelers
fair.
being so good and so legit this year. I see Saquon similar to like playing. Who did he play a couple weeks ago where he just went off? The Rams or Washington. He did good against Baltimore too. I can see him scoring 2 touchdowns this week, which honestly
All
I'm just
right.
kind of putting that
Heard
into
it
the
here.
universe because I need it for my fantasy
He's
teams.
putting it out into the ether. He's gonna need some titanium underpants for this call, everybody.
Yeah, I got Kyle this week in Bush League, so I need Saquon to go off, brother.
I know nobody cares about my fantasy league, but I just want to loop back around to saying that I scored 215 points and I lost last week,
I can't
man.
believe that happened, man.
That
How does
feels
that
bad,
happen?
doesn't it? He has a Jamar
Chase and
Chase
Jefferson.
and no, he has Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow stack. And he
That's
might have Jefferson too, honestly, I think. Yeah.
that's a solid stack, dude. And but you have him again this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going again. I'm back at it, buddy. I'm gonna beat him this time.
he has
It's
Jamar
not
Chase.
happening
He has Jamar
twice.
Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Cup and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
What is that nonsense, dude? That's
Dude,
like
and that
that's
he
so
had that
stupid.
from the beginning. So it
Yeah.
was like when Cooper Cup was in his heyday,
Yeah.
everyone was just like, "What is going
How has he
on?"
not won a championship yet?
Um,
Damn.
got to put out those good vibes, Kyle.
I have him in Bush League this week, and he has Henry, who's probably going to go off, and Neighbors and Jefferson. Damn.
And next time you draft, get good Wi-Fi because we're not redoing anything. If you want to quit, quit. Sorry. Um, and
Savage, brother.
so yeah, so the Lions are what, 12-1 or 11-1?
I think they're
Has that been?
11 or
Oh
12.
wait.
They're probably 12-1.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the Chiefs are also 12-1, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yep. So right now they're both the number one seeds because they've only one loss. Yeah.
Damn, okay. That's exciting. So, okay. I don't want the Chiefs to get in, but I know they're probably going to get in. But I'm excited for the Lions because I think their offense can probably win a Super Bowl.
I agree. Their defense is really hurt. Hopefully, it gets healthy in time. I mean, I think what's going to happen is the
Do you
Chiefs are
think it
going to.
matters?
Yeah, I do for sure. Because if you're the Detroit Lions and you're playing Philly, who can match you offensively with running back and also has good receivers, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Eagles because their defense is healthy and playing better right now. So
I don't know, man. I just think the offense is so much better for the Lions. I get that you'd have to, the defense has to show up a little bit at some point, but
1 second.
they've had a broken defense the past 2 or 3 weeks, and they've still been winning. And the Eagles have not been playing great.
What's that?
Just feel like the Eagles haven't been playing super great.
Oh man,
Especially
they're
Jalen Hurts,
they're on a
dude.
9 game win streak. They're playing pretty great.
Yeah, but oh, just ugly wins.
They don't care. Actually, not ugly wins. They've dominated almost everyone they play other than the Panthers, from what
Well,
I've
they're gonna
heard.
lose this week, I'll tell you that.
Battle of Pennsylvania.
AJ Brown had 8 points in fantasy football, bro. What is that about?
Well,
Trash.
it's different. I mean, it's just different. They're winning by running the football. That's just like I mean, Amon
Saquon had
Ra
no touchdown last week. How can you win by running the football with no touchdown and
because
AJ Brown has 8 points?
you
That's
have
not winning.
Jalen
You're not
Hurts.
going to be able to keep up with the Steelers next week then with that attitude, buddy.
Oh, they're gonna. How you want to make a bet on Steelers and Eagles?
100%.
Okay, what do we want to do? A dollar?
I'll bet whatever you want.
I don't want to do a
I'll bet
water bet.
money or I'll bet water. Okay, he doesn't want a water bet
Well,
because he's scared.
fine. Let's go. All right, let's do a water bet.
All right, let's water bet it.
Okay. You know the only time I've actually done a water bet. I think I've done it twice, but the first time I
I
did it,
think I saw you do one at least, I remember.
I've done one, and then it landed on no water. It landed on me not getting any water.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was so lame,
So
dude.
lame and awesome at the same time.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. This week, water bet. And we're gonna live spin it on this podcast so that everyone knows that we're not gonna get
How about
no
this?
water
How about this?
again.
How we won't do it live on the podcast. We'll have it filmed and then put it on the
Yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I just meant do the spin live, I
Okay.
guess, so that
Okay.
everyone can see the challenge,
I like
so
it.
then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can kind of get a
Yeah, I hear
little
that. I hear that.
anticipation.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, man, I think this will be an interesting week. Seahawks are on prime time, Sunday night football against the Packers. I'm really excited for this game. I think the Packers are going to be like that next step up of challenge, and if Seattle can win that game,
Mm.
I'm gonna feel good about them getting into the playoffs if they can beat the Packers this weekend. So their defense has been playing just absolutely solid. Their offense finally went off against the Cardinals. Hopefully it can keep that momentum, and Charbonnet just absolutely saved my biscuits in the Bush League.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he's the reason why I got into the playoffs this week. So
Him and Jordan Addison, man,
yeah,
both of them. So
but if Kenneth Walker would have started, I don't think Kenneth Walker would have got all those yards. So I'm giving Charbonnet. He's yeah. Oh,
maybe.
Addison crushed it for sure.
Are you saying Zach Charbonnet's better than Kenneth Walker right now?
Maybe I might be saying it.
Oh,
He
the Bone Zone's gonna have something to say about that, buddy.
honestly, it's crazy. I would probably like. I think Charbonnet is like he's almost a better running back, but not at the same time because Kenneth Walker is a special running back, but it's just different. I like watching Charbonnet because he's more patient. He doesn't dance around. He just hits the hole. You know, he'll hit the hole and he sees it and he goes. And Kenneth Walker will just be like dancing around. I'm like, brother,
Mm.
just go, just get through that hole and go score me
Give it the
touchdowns.
give it the Le'Veon Bell, dude. Give it a little hesitation
Patient.
and smash the hole.
Yeah. So I mean, K9 is it's. I'd rather have him on the team for sure and than not, but. Um, Charbonnet just might be better for this offense. So we'll see. If Kenneth Walker doesn't play this weekend, we'll see if Charbonnet does. And if he has another game like this, yeah, you heard it here. He's definitely the better running back for Seattle.
Yep, and I know nobody follows this, and this doesn't really relate to the Seahawks, but I'm just saying that about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I called a Juwan Jennings thing going out, and he's saving everybody's biscuit this
There
year,
we go.
and Rico's coming along too, man. So it's pretty satisfying.
Hell yeah. But I hate the Niners, so they can get bent over. But honestly, actually, they play
That's fair.
tomorrow, and I need them to win. So, yeah.
Oh, you heard it here first. Skyler's rooting for the
I'm
Niners.
not rooting for them necessarily, but they should win. I need them to win for playoffs wise. Yeah.
Sounds like a root.
Okay, kind of, just a little bit, like 1%.
Um, yeah, that's
Plus,
fair.
I
I
think
get
I'm gonna
that.
play Brock Purdy tomorrow night, so hopefully he goes off.
Yep.
Yeah,
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the Seahawks. Their defense is playing really good.
the Seahawks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you picked up their
Oh,
defense. Yeah,
yep. Gino was kind of falling off in the middle of the year, but he's kind of coming back around.
if he can do like fantasy wise, if it's a struggle, but if he can do what he did against the Cardinals, look out because that's an efficient team.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yep. And just to loop back to the Steelers game, if they lose, I'm just gonna say they didn't have Mr.
yeah, he's not
Georgie
playing.
Porgy. And if they win, I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah. So
Man, how about Russell Wilson? That's what a cool story.
it is a
Remember
weird
earlier in the year,
story.
you're like, "Don't start him. I don't want him to start." And I was like, "Yeah, you do, bro. You want Russell Wilson all day."
Remember when he said, "Let's ride"?
Mm-hmm. Some dumbass shit.
What else did he say?
Go Hawks.
Go
He
Hawks.
didn't
Okay.
make him some stupid catchphrase for the Steelers, thankfully, but Quest for Seven
Not
or something
yet.
like that. I heard maybe he was gonna say. Anyways, if the Steelers won the Super Bowl this year, I'd be stoked. Good for him. I hope he gets to the Hall of Fame. I'm over all the Seattle drama. Like, go be great. Go win a Super Bowl. Cool. It'd be awesome. Russell Wilson versus the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Oh,
It
that'd
won't
be
happen,
fun.
but it'd be cool.
Trusty Rusty.
No, I think it's definitely a Lions, Chiefs, Lions, Bills, Eagles. It's going to be
Ooh.
Lions or Eagles. I think they're going to be the
I
team.
want the Lions and somebody else besides the Chiefs. That would be so
Lions Bills would be
satisfying.
awesome because then
Oh, that would be great.
whoever wins, I'm okay with. I'm not hating.
Me too.
Lions would be great because their history. They've sucked for so long, but Bills went to 4 championships in the '90s and they lost all of them in a row. So like, go Bills,
Ooh, that
right?
feels so bad.
Right, dude. Same quarter. Yeah, like come on, that team is cursed.
Yeah.
But I like Josh Allen and he's a Wyoming guy, so. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I watched him play in college at University of Wyoming, so I always root for him. He's the
Yeah.
bomb.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Well, I want to get this dog outside. He's a little antsy right now. So, you ready to wrap
Sounds
this
good.
thing up?
Yep, I'm gonna go get some dinner and hang out with the dog, so
All right.
should be
Well,
good.
appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next week on episode 16.
Let's go. Have a good one. Later, guys.